Hello, this is the Aunty M podcast, series 2 of Surviving Self-Care, and today we're taking a bite out of diets. Hello and welcome to the Aunty M podcast. You're here with me, Aunty M, and
me, Aunty P.
Hi P, you alright?
Yeah, I am. I'm alright, yeah. Had a nice weekend?
I have had a nice weekend. I got my nose lasered.
What?
Maybe we should do an episode continuing this. And I decided I've got a vein in my nose and I decided to get it lasered. And it was more painful than getting a tattoo.
Bloody hell.
So that was my Saturday.
Has it gone?
No, I have to go back several times, but it has gone right down. Do you know that it's like right there in my nostrils?
Fantastic.
So when anyway, that was my weekend. I might talk about that on another podcast. But
lovely.
Nose lasering.
You'll be pleased to know. In preparation for this podcast about diets, I binged on chocolate today.
Oh,
yeah. Someone left a box of Lindt chocolates from Dubai. My friend's been to Dubai and she bought this massive tin of chocolates, and I ate most of them.
Okay, don't feel bad because Lindt chocolate is pretty damn amazing.
It is quite delightful.
Yes.
But there was no dark chocolate left, so I just ate the milk chocolate. So it wasn't even the healthy chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Because dark chocolate's the healthy chocolate.
Yeah, it's the good one.
So today we are talking about dieting and self-care. How far is too far? From Weight Watchers to cabbage diets and even Kim Kardashian's Met Gala look, we're going to chat about it all. All right, P. So let's get stuck in. First of all, what is a diet?
Well, it's what you eat.
Yeah, so I suppose any food you eat is sort of part of your diet, isn't it? It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're losing weight.
Yeah, I think when we were young, so like 90s, when we sort of started to notice those kind of things, the word diet to me always meant eating to lose weight, but it actually does have that broader meaning, like religious diets, belief-based diets, or, medical diets, those kind of things. It is basically what you eat.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, in the modern world, it's broadening out again. Although there are still named diets around.
Yes, well, there's obviously several famous ones. I've got a list here. This is not necessarily the list of fame, but these are the different types of diets. So like you said, there's belief-based diets like Buddhism, or if you're a Muslim, and Jewish, they have certain food that they not that they can and can't, but they choose to not eat because of religious reasons. Then there's the calorie and weight controlled diets, crash diets, detox diets, diets for medical, fad, vegetarian, vegan diets. They're all food choices. How would you describe your diet, P?
Terrible. You just
terrible diets.
No, I don't know. I think I'm more aware of nutrition than I used to be. Growing up again, it was all, I don't know, like things like sausage casserole and roast dinners on a Sunday and quite heavy kind of meat and 2 veg kind of diet.
That sounds like a very sort of, I would say, sort of a British diet.
Yeah, it totally was. Growing up, it was, the healthiest thing we had was salad. But if we had salad, it was actually salad, mashed potato full of butter and milk. Eggs and ham, so that was the most part. And you'd put grated cheese all over your potato as well.
Yeah,
and then have the salad would be like kind of maybe 1/8 of the plate.
We're having a salad with potatoes. But because a potato salad, is that a salad? It's just potatoes with like mayonnaise and whatever else you put on it. It's not really a salad.
No, So nowadays my diet is better. Definitely, I eat more greens, and I know things. I guess a lot more of us are aware of those kind of things. But like making sure that you've got more green things on your plate than anything else, that kind of stuff. I do try and do that, but I think I
Yeah.
overeat and I definitely emotionally eat.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Well, I've got 4 different diets in my house at the minute. So I have my children, who eat normal stuff, packed lunches, but my son is allergic to, he's got a dairy and gluten intolerance. Well, we definitely notice he does get, a little bit sick when he eats those things. So I've got to be aware of that. My husband is a vegan. So that, again, I've got another diet to think about. And at the moment, I'm doing the body coach. So it's almost sometimes I'm cooking several different meals.
yeah,
And
I have noticed that when I've come round for tea.
yeah. I mean, it actually, to keep that up, it takes, I mean, my husband also, to add on top of that again, is that he does intermittent fasting. So he doesn't eat breakfast, and most of the time he doesn't eat dinner. So he has a very big lunch in the day. So that makes it easier. So I'm not worrying about feeding him in the evening. I just get myself something. But yeah, man, I'm sure I'm not the only person that lives in a household of mixed dietary needs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mostly know couples, but I would say like me and my partner, we tend to eat the same thing. So, but if
Yeah.
we're on a diet, we're on a diet, and if we're gonna binge, we're gonna binge.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. I think if you live at home and your partner diets with you, it just makes the world of difference, doesn't it? Because you're
Yeah.
doing it together and you're both cooking the same thing. But because my kids won't eat my weird roasted vegetable thing. They're like, they want, sort of kid friendly food.
But I do know that, like, I have actually noticed that. I mean, I guess children's diets is a whole nother kettle of fish. Fingers, boom. But
I'm going to drag all the buns out.
um,
Bad.
but I would say, like, a lot of my friends that do have children eat different food to their kids. And also, I remember when my sister's kids were young, she said she put on a lot of weight because she was eating their food.
Yes.
But then I was kind of like, well, should you be feeding them that food then?
Yeah.
But is that really judgy?
You eat all the leftovers on the plate. Stuff like that.
So it's really easy to have 2 dinners, basically.
Yeah. Obviously, I think the main thing we're talking about this week is sort of more the fad diets and the calorie control diets. And in terms of self-care, I know that men do I know that community of men feel the pressure, but I feel like it's very much still aimed at women, in terms of like, I don't know anybody who hasn't done a diet, another woman who hasn't dieted or told me about it. Why do you think, P? Why do we diet?
Well, when I was younger, I would say it was always to lose weight. And I do think, we talk about this a lot, but, body image and feeling like thin is beautiful or slim is beautiful and that kind of thing. But I do feel nowadays, particularly maybe in the last 10 years, I think people just know more about nutrition and people are aware that, what you put in your body, alongside, I feel like, yes, there's that horrible negative connotation of diets being about losing weight and women needing to be thin. But I also think that there's been a real push towards nutrition and diet being about health. And, that phrase, you are what you eat. And I feel like that's a growing movement, certainly in the Facebook ads that I get sent. Not that I Google how to lose weight very often.
I mean, I think for me, it's almost an obsession.
But why do you think about it?
I mean, you're going to have to delve deep, and it's part of those sort of traumas. And I mean, my mum was very big, but both of my sisters were big, and whatever they were going through, um, even from a young age, they were overweight. You know, they were very beautiful. You know, that wasn't a question. That it was just they were always on the bigger side, and I always thought I was going to be like that, and I am sort of slightly big, and I eat, you know, even from a young age, dieting and weight was all around me. You know, my dad had a real issue with their weight and found it really hard because my dad was like, my dad could eat anything. You know, those people that just eat anything and they're just skinny, they just burn it off. I remember last week when Aoife was talking about like the genetics of exercise and diet. I think some people like with nervous dispositions or high energy, they seem to just burn things off.
Well, yeah, you've got issues like with the thyroid and hormonal imbalances.
All sorts of things that can affect you. And I think being surrounded by the idea of diets from such an early age, and I remember, I mean, I'm sure you'll be the same, P, when you look back at pictures of yourself. I mean, I remember being 12 and being like so panicked about my weight. But when I look at pictures, I wasn't that big, but I was wearing massive clothes.
Yeah, because then what's your psychological relationship with food? Which, I mean, like for me, I feel I'm quite balanced. Like when I was 13, I was 13 stone. I was bullied a lot for being fat and called fat a lot at school.
Yeah.
But I mean, my body hasn't changed much. I haven't got bigger or smaller. And I'm kind of okay with it now. I'm just a slightly round lady. But
I love my album. Slightly round lady.
But I have also noticed, I've known people, including you, actually, who've lost significant amounts of weight and they don't go back up again to that extreme heaviness. So somebody did say to me, you know, if you lose weight, your body kind of learns to stay slimmer, or it doesn't want to go past that boundary again. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but isn't it interesting that we're talking about diet and weight and how much... Yeah, I mean, I was 13 stone when I was 13.
Wow.
And I did a ham sandwich diet.
Was that of your own making?
Yeah, I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to eat ham sandwiches because they're, you know, healthy. And I did actually, in fairness to little 13-year-old Brown, I did actually lose a bit of weight. So,
oh, bless you.
But
ham sandwich diet. I mean, what diets? Well, what diets have we done? I mean, Weight Watchers.
Oh, you've done a lot more than me, but go on.
Yeah. Have you done a Slimming World? The Slimming World and Weight Watchers are quite similar. And then you've got fad diets like Atkins, keto, like a cabbage diet. Well, do you remember the Subway diet?
No. Was it just you eat Subway sandwiches?
Yeah. Famously, oh God, I think he's quite controversial, but there was a guy in America who ate Subway. He just had a Subway sandwich or something and he lost weight. And then it became the Subway diet. Atkins was really big, wasn't it, in the late 90s?
There's paleo.
Paleo, yeah. Keto, yeah.
There's my sister said about an egg diet.
Oh. There's obviously like the cabbage soup, like the soup diets where you eat. And there's the other one, grapefruit diet, which was like eating a grapefruit after you only eat one slither of ham or something. And then the grapefruit burns through.
I remember fun facts like you should eat foods that take more calories to eat than they do to put on your body or something, like celery.
But this stuff is, because celery, you burn more calories eating it than there is in the celery. And we're all walking around sort of starving ourselves. You know, I mean, I have to say though, for me, things like Weight Watchers, Slimming World, they do tend to try and take in a balanced diet. And they tell you, like, have a cheat day, allow yourself extra points to go out for dinner and stuff like that. Like, because I'm on the Body Coach and I really like it because actually his meals are really good, but that one is very much dependent on doing exercise with it. That's really important part of it. It's, so there's other people that might not be able to do that. But I think the thing is with the Body Coach that they don't allow for you to have, for example, extra points to have a chocolate bar. Like nothing is put in for that. But obviously you have bad days. You've got to allow yourself that balance. And then sometimes I think, but why am I dieting? Why can't I just love myself? Because my husband loves me. My husband doesn't care. I think what he sees is when I lose weight, that I get a confidence in myself because I've lost weight, and I'll be more confident, and therefore our sort of that relationship between us improves because my self-confidence has improved. But I also feel angry at the world, that I need to lose weight in order to feel that way.
Then again, there's healthy and unhealthy weight, isn't there? I mean, I did that BBC quiz we're going to do later, and I did the BMI bit, and it said you're horribly overweight. It didn't use the word horribly, but I
don't think they said horribly on the NHS. Dear madam, you are horribly.
It did say something like extremely, though. I was like, how rude.
Jesus. No, BMI.
But what in connection to confidence, I do, you've never been skin and bones unhealthily thin.
No.
And I've, to be honest, pretty much stayed the same. I think we grew up in an era where diet is connected to body image and therefore connected to our feeling about how good we feel and how other people see us, and therefore we feel more confident when we lose weight. I definitely feel better when I lose weight, partly because I like having a chin and like a jawline. And
hello, chin.
Yeah, hi. But I do think that because I'm stubborn, I have never, and also I've got no discipline. So I can't do like a diet. I can't follow any rules because as soon as I've got rules, I break them. So I tend to do that nutrition approach, and I do it every January, and I lose weight, and then by the end of February, I'm off again.
Back it on. Do you know what? I've got the same. Do you know what happens to me? And I've noticed a cycle is that I think, because I spoke about this before, I think I have SAD, because what happens is I when the sun comes out in spring, I tend to go on a diet and do very well. And then as it gets into autumn, like I go, summer body. And then I get into autumn and I start slowing down, and then winter hits, and that's when I pile on the pounds.
But that is also what bears and hedgehogs do. So...
well, if they're not my soul animals, maybe that's what I need to do, P. Maybe I need to just hibernate I just need to eat until I go into a coma and just come out again. I've burnt it all off in my sleep.
There you go.
Come out in spring.
Done.
That's my new fad diet.
We should do it. We should call it the hibernation diet.
Diet.
The seasonal diet.
Yeah.
But actually, I was doing a bit of research earlier, and there is a seasonal diet where it suggests you eat seasonal food. But
right, yeah.
I think if we can separate food from our self-worth, it is still really important to focus on diet. There is that massive negative side, but there's also a real positive side.
Beyond losing weight, what you have when you eat healthily is you get, you sleep better, your skin looks better.
Your energy is more stable.
Your energy is stable. You, health things. For example, I've got a lot of issues with my back, with my hips, arthritis and stuff. And I know that if I've got my weight under control, I'm not putting that pressure on my joints,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm not in as much pain. And so
But there's also the element of, balancing your mood, not having too much sugar. If I don't have sugar, I don't get spots. But I also
yeah,
don't get carb crashes. So I don't, it's that consistent energy. And also the
yeah,
connection between your gut health and your mental health and your body health.
yeah,
So there's an increasing amount of research into, the
yeah.
gut
I
has more nerve endings in the brain or something like that. So,
Oh, does it?
so when people talk about gut feelings,
Oh, that
um,
makes sense. Yeah,
literally, there's more and more science is proving a connection between the gut and the general body health.
how do you feel about? Well, we said at the beginning about Kim Kardashian, and for those of you that don't know, the Met Gala is a big fashion event in New York that happens every year, and the celebs turn up, and we all go, "Ooh, what they wearing?"
Mm-hmm.
And this year was, what was it? Glamour, gilded glamour.
Oh,
And Kim Kardashian wore the very famous Marilyn Monroe dress that she wore. Was it Out of the Cake with JFK, the very sort of sparkly one?
yeah.
And she decided that she was going to go. She couldn't fit into the dress. I don't. Anyway, go back. She couldn't fit into the dress, and so she decided to crash diet. And I think it was over 3 weeks. She lost 7.2 kilograms. That's about 16 pounds, just to
Wow.
fit in this dress. And she was on the red carpet and she was sort of saying, "Oh, I'm starving. I've got donuts and pizza waiting for me after." And I think, even though that must have, for her, great, she looked amazing, but that throwaway comment, that the idea that she had to crash diet to fit into this dress, that's a lot of pressure in a very, we don't realize, and I don't think she probably would have even realized it at the time, that the idea of, we must fit the dress rather than the dress fitting us.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's a really difficult one because it was a particular dress. Like, it was Marilyn Monroe's dress that is like a
Yeah,
historical thing. It couldn't be altered. It couldn't be changed.
it couldn't.
But
Yeah, it couldn't. Yeah,
she actually only wore it for 5 minutes and then changed into a replica that fitted her better.
really,
So
I didn't know that.
no, according to the
What's
Metro,
the
yeah,
point?
exactly.
What
She
is the
says
point of that?
she said she wore
Honestly,
a
I just kind of
sauna
think,
suit. She wore a sauna suit twice a day, ran on the
yeah.
treadmill, completely cut all sugar and carbs, and just ate the cleanest veggies and protein. She claims, "I didn't starve myself, but I was so strict."
So moving on to the last part of the show, we're going to talk about the top 3 most Googled questions. These are all sort of diet-related questions. The first one is, should I avoid gluten?
Well, that comes back to our guts and gluten causing lots of problems with your gut.
I can understand carbs. I know that a lot of people cut carbs out. I mean, that's what I do with the body coach, is I don't eat carbs unless I've done a workout, and then I can eat carbs.
Yeah, I mean, I think the gluten thing is that human beings have only been farming for 10,000 years, farming wheat and gluten products.
Yeah.
But our bodies won't have evolved in those 10,000 years. So it's a bit like the keto diet. And then that's why people say that gluten can cause a lot of gut problems. So it's about this gut health, the gut flora and fauna.
I think don't avoid gluten unless you're allergic to it.
Well, what if you didn't know if you were allergic to it, but it makes you feel a bit crap? I mean, I think you can avoid it if you want.
Yeah. If you like gluten. I mean, do you know what, though? There's loads of gluten-free products now. So, I mean, they do taste a little bit weird, but you get used to it.
Yeah.
Right, my next question, should I do a juice detox?
Yeah, if it's short, would be my answer. I
don't know. I think these juice detoxes are bollocks. That's my personal opinion.
My January
Maybe you've
diet,
done one.
Well, yeah, my January diet is actually called clean, but it's basically an exclusion diet. So you eat nothing that could be an allergen, but you have
Right.
2 liquid meals a day. So you have a soup for dinner and a smoothie for breakfast, and then you just have a
Oh,
solid meal for lunch. And the guy in that, the guy that wrote clean, and if you notice, clean's become like common parlance now. Even Kim said it. She ate clean protein and vegetables. So this kind of
hang
idea
on. But
of clean
okay. So
food.
hang on. So what is a clean vegetable? I mean, I'm
So
taking it
no
like
nightshades. So nothing
no.
that could cause an allergic reaction. So you can't have nightshades, which is potatoes, aubergines, or red pepper, which is sad, or chili.
Really? I had aubergine
Yeah,
for dinner.
yeah. So well, it's only if you're doing an exclusion diet. It's just that some
Okay.
people are allergic to them. So again, you don't have dairy or eggs or gluten on the clean diet because you're trying to just let your body reset in case you're allergic to anything, and you just do it for 3 weeks. But it's not a pure juice diet. But when I have
So
looked
like,
at juice diets, they say don't do it for like weeks because obviously you starve. So
yeah. Okay. Other question about diet. Do I have to eat breakfast?
oh, this is a big one for me because I don't like breakfast. I get hungry at like 11 a.m. What do you think?
But it's kind of this myth that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I don't think that's necessarily true. But I certainly get hungry when I wake up and I enjoy my breakfast. And I think it is a good start for the rest of the day. But then again, your day, your metabolism obviously starts later on.
All right, so I have actually googled that, and 3 articles of 5 say no. It's helpful, and it does break your fast and starts your metabolism off, but
Did you just say it
it's
breaks your farts?
no fast.
Oh,
Breaks your fast.
I thought I was like, wait, what? Do we need to get that moving? Do we in the morning?
No, but gut health wise, that a clean diet definitely increases wind. So I don't know if that's good
Yeah,
or
man.
bad.
I bet the cabbage soup diet definitely increases.
You do actually eat quite a lot of cabbage soup on the clean diet, so yes, I can
Right.
attest that it does. Um, yeah, so basically, it's more important to keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day, according to the BBC.
Good
Um,
old Beeb.
and according to Medical News Today, just loading the page because it says, according to recent studies, it is not as detrimental to our health as people thought. So no, you can eat breakfast or not, as long as you keep your blood sugar stable.
Yeah. I mean, these questions, I mean, I'm sure as well, it's like, what is the best diet? There's always a new diet that comes on the scene. And sometimes it's diets rehashed from ages ago, cutting out this, cutting out that. Um, I mean, if it works for you, do it. I've seen some amazing before and after people, that have found something that works for them
Mm,
and they look great. And there's
hmm
other people who just say, you know what, I am what I am. I like my food. I'm just going to, it's not that when you diet you're not enjoying yourself, but some people are like, no, I'm just gonna eat what I want, and I'm happy with that. And I think it's just about acceptance, isn't it? And accepting,
Yeah, and also maybe in your mind saying this isn't a diet, like as in it's not a diet to lose weight, it's my diet, it's just what I eat. So that you're
yeah,
eating things that make you feel good, that you enjoy, that keep your body at the weight that you're happy with,
yeah,
and give you all the nutrition you need so that you feel healthy and okay. So your diet becomes a habit and a part of your life, rather than something you're sorry so that your diet becomes a habit and a part of your life rather than something you're doing to like punish yourself or change yourself or a short-term
yeah,
thing. It needs to be a
yeah.
long-term thing.
Yeah. And I think, like with last week's episode, a lot of diet came up when we're talking about exercise.
Hmm.
As Aoife was saying, you can't outrun a bad diet. And if you're eating really unhealthily and you are, you know, I think not just for losing weight, but it does make a difference in your mental state when you're eating good food
Yeah.
and you're putting it in your body. It's like a way of treating your body nicely. I mean, honestly, I could go and eat now a whole tub of ice cream. You know, and I know that I would enjoy it as I was doing it, but afterwards I just feel like, ugh. Whereas I had a really nice, what I'm going to have now as part of my body coach snatch, as part of my body coach snack, I'm having an apple cut up with peanut butter on the side for dipping
You told me
it in.
about this. You like this, don't you?
Yeah, because I'm not a big fruit person, and I actually look forward to eating that. It tastes really nice, and I would, you know, that works for me. And doing my exercises, it works for me. It makes me feel good about myself. And you know what? As soon as I start doing it, within about 48 hours, I already feel way skinnier, even if I haven't lost weight, because I just feel like I'm doing something. Look at me with my roast aubergines, doing a little run, you know, and it does instantly make me feel like I'm a better person. And I haven't necessarily lost any weight.
But then it would need to not be connected to feeling good or bad, depending if you feel fat or thin. That's the kind of tricky bit, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Like, I think, like for me, whenever we have takeaway pizza, I know this sounds a bit silly, but I always have vegetarian because you can get loads of vegetables on a pizza. So even though it's takeaway and it's really unhealthy and there's loads of cheese, I'm not also eating like a meat feast that's full of meat. So it's about trying to find your balance where you can.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Pizza now.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I had it last night. But then also, there's that downward spiral as well of like Friday night, drink some beer, alcohol, hangover, crave fatty, greasy food. So you're drunk. You have your takeaway the night before, but then the next day with a hangover, you want more grease and carbs. So you have that. And then on the Sunday, when you haven't even had a drink, obviously this is a theoretical story, hypothetical.
I'm talking about my friend.
You then binge on chocolate. So it's like that cycle of unself-care is similar to the opposite, maybe like the yin yang, to what you were talking about with your cycle of positive self-care, where, you know, doing the good thing leads to other good things. And a bit like with the mental health, it's remembering what pulled you out of the hole last time, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have been on any fad diets, crash diets, or diets we haven't spoken about, and you'd like to share your story with us, you can email us at auntympodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can message us anytime, and we'd love to hear your stories and share them on the show. Wouldn't we, P?
Yeah, we would. We'd love it.
We haven't got time for it today, but I will post, Purdy, you shared a really good quiz from the BBC. What's the right diet for you? Which both told us that our BMI was too high.
Mm-hmm. Terribly high.
The
website was shocked.
Yeah, even the website shut down. You're horribly overweight. Goodbye, madam. Go and have a look. I will be posting that sometime in the next few days so you can have a look at it.
But genuinely, as well as offending me about my BMI, it did actually suggest that I do some intermittent fasting, which I know has worked for a sibling of mine. So it might be giving me some good advice. So let's all try it.
Well, you could try it and then come on and talk about it.
Yeah. Any of you out there could also do that.
Yeah, okay. Anyone that's done fasting wants to get in contact with the show. And we are going to be continuing with our series of self-care in the next episode, where we're going to be talking about aging.
Yay.
Lovely and fun. Talk about all our saggy bits.
That we're learning to love.
Yeah. And we love you too. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a big hug and some self-love. And we'll see you next week. So it's goodbye from me. Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
been asked for a stool stamp.
Maybe
Stample?
maybe there's just something about your face.
Maybe this woman has good poo. Let's ask this lady about poo. But I mean, moving on from that rather intimate story.